Hello, I am Felix Maltsev and I represent Patriarshy Dom Tours, and today we will talk about Constructivism, very particular architectural style. We have got a bus tour around Moscow where we concentrate on most interesting objects designed in that style, and I want to advertise it a little bit. Well, Constructivism, someone says, it's dull, rectangular boxes, nothing else. This is not right. As a matter of fact, this style represents several absolute masterpieces, and today I will introduce three of them. We will begin from Old Arbat, where in Krivo-Arbatsky Lane we have got a private house of Konstantin Melnikov, one of the most genius architects of the first half of the 20th century. The building looks very unusual. It resembles either figure 8, but okay, 8. Does it mean anything? Probably not. But maybe it's an infinity sign. Maybe. Or as Melnikov loved to joke, there were two connected wedding rings because this building was supposed to be the wedding gift to his young wife. Well, the house has very interesting composition inside. It is divided into three levels. The ground floor, as Melnikov called it, was the kingdom of the body. It contained a dining room, kitchens, and other facilities. The first floor, the kingdom of the soul, with a sitting room and bedrooms. And upstairs we have got the kingdom of the spirit. That was a gigantic studio, one big space where Melnikov worked on his works. And pay attention how asymmetrical and how interesting windows surround the building. In purpose of giving special insulation in accordance to functionality of every level. We have got big windows looking into the kitchen. Yes, you need some natural light when you cook breakfast, but much less windows and big elements of down walls where bedrooms are located. But upstairs with the studio, we have got windows going around the whole space because the sun looked into Melnikov's studio throughout the day during its slow traveling around the horizon. Natural question: how Melnikov, 1920s, when was a period of total collectivization and absolute absence of private property, how Melnikov managed to receive a permission for having a private house in the center of Moscow? The answer is very interesting. So first of all, Melnikov was an absolute genius. And being a young architect in the 1920s, he shocked Soviet authorities by building for the agricultural exhibition at the territory which today is Gorky Park, a tobacco pavilion. It was made in a futuristic manner, simply with wood and glass, and produced such a huge impression on members of Politburo that they employed Melnikov to perform a special project, a glass sarcophagus for Lenin's body inside the mausoleum. One of the big problems of the mausoleum is the lack of light inside, and Melnikov created his sarcophagus as a futuristic prism of glass refracting the light and giving it on the face of Lenin. The effect was absolutely magnificent. Unfortunately, no single photograph shows it. And also, unfortunately, the sarcophagus was broken in 1941 when Stalin ordered to remove Lenin's body from Moscow to Siberia. Stalin was very much afraid of the offensive of the German army. So today we have no chance to see the results of Melnikov's genius. But as I understand, for performing the sarcophagus, he received carte blanche by the Soviet government and could afford those things which other Soviet people could not. Our next address lies in Lesnaya Street. It is not far away from Belaruski train station, and it is the workers' club named after Zuev. Zuev was a Soviet activist of the beginning of the 20th century. A huge number of workers' clubs built 1920s all around Moscow indicates one very particular element of early communist democracy. The first generation of Soviet leaders, Lenin, Trotsky, and even Stalin, used to talk to common members of the Communist Party at big public meetings. And those clubs were quite big inside. For instance, Zuev Club has got the hall for 1,600 spectators. It is comparative to the Bolshoi Theater, for instance. So the building is designed in an extremely interesting manner. When we look at it from the corner, we can clearly see a bolt with a dash. We can clearly see a bolt with a washer on top. And we can understand how around this axis, not only the building of Zuev Club, but the whole earth could be rotated during the expected world revolution. So thus a romantic radical idea was expressed architecturally. What about romantic ideas? Our next address is also very, very symptomatic. The whole block between Mesnitskaya Street and Sakharov Avenue is occupied with a huge building of potential World Trade Union residence, which had been commissioned in 1926 by the Soviet government to famous Swiss architect Le Corbusier. And Corbusier designed a dream building. It is all built on pillars, and originally the ground floor was not supposed to be. But without ground floor, how can you get in? Simply from the roof. The roof is flat and was originally designed as a landing area for helicopters and little airplanes. 1920s or very early 1930s, everywhere in the world believed that very, very, very soon people will have their own aircrafts to fly. Frankly speaking, it did not happen. It happened only in Luc Besson movie, The Fifth Element, where, however, the action is moved to the far distant future. And Soviet engineers, the first thing they did was to add the ground floor with normal entrances. And therefore, only little hints of the original design by Le Corbusier give us the idea to what extent dreamers people of 1920s used to be. So take this tour, you will not be disappointed.